What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lucid Daily. It has been a little while since we have gone live, so I'm excited to break down exactly what the heck is going on with Lucid. There is a lot we need to talk about. I've briefly outlined a couple of the things that we're going to go over, so we're going to dive through the stock price. Here, let me just go ahead and share my screen with you guys really quick. So here's the agenda for what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over the stock price, exactly what happened with the stock price. We're going to go over the headline numbers, and then we're actually going to break down the transcript of exactly what happened with Lucid and some things that we need to know about. I have not listened to the earnings call yet. I just got back from work, so we're going to dive into this. We're going to figure out what's going on. Leave your comments on the side. I'll get to them. Like if they pertain to what we're talking about, we'll talk about it. But we'll do a Q&A at the end. Here, let me put that here. We'll do Q&A at the end, and we'll get everything out in the air. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and let's welcome back to Lucid Daily. So let me go ahead and pull up their stock price really quick because it was kind of a doozy. So as you can tell here, let me go and make sure that this is the latest price. Okay. All right. So Lucid was up 20%. Sorry, not 20%. Lucid was up 4% during the day today, and they were actually up quite a bit yesterday as well. They were actually up 9% total this week. However, that has pretty much been eradicated over in the after hours because they have fallen 12%, and it does not look like their earnings call helped them at all. So that's pretty. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of my predictions and why I thought the way I did, and a lot of people weren't very happy with the way I thought. But we'll go ahead and dive into it and exactly why Lucid's down 12 hours. We'll talk about my predictions and my estimates and where I believe Lucid will be going from here. If there's anything wrong with the audio, let me know, but we should be good to go. All right, let's go. Now that we've checked out the stock price, we're down 12% in the after hours. We're down $2.59. So that'll put us around, I believe, $17. Let me do that quick math for us really quick. Is that $17? So 20.56 minus 259. That'll put us at $17.97 at open tomorrow morning. So we'll see where we actually open at. I wouldn't be surprised if we opened a little bit lower. And I believe that this actually brought down Tesla about 1% in the after hours as well. Oh no, Tesla bounced back. They had this brief little dip. It was probably just some sort of algo selling right here, but then Tesla bounced back. So I thought that was interesting when that first came out. All right, so let's go ahead and dive back into the notes that I have here, and we will go ahead and get everything going. So I have a little bit of notes that I already took here. Let's go ahead and go over their deliveries. So as many of us know already, we have Lucid came in with 679 deliveries. My estimate was actually 450. So they beat my estimate, but that's not saying a ton because up until now, let's add those together. So they did 360 last quarter and they did 679 this quarter. So 360 plus 679, that puts us at 1,039 deliveries. Now, I don't know how many are produced. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more of that in the transcript. They came in, obviously, if you're going to miss on deliveries, you're also going to miss revenue. So the revenue, they had 97 million versus the 147 million expected. And then the reservations, they actually came in at about 37K reservations. I mean, that was better than my estimate of 35K. Now, my estimate, I kind of pulled out of my butt. That's not really based off of anything. So just know that. And let me see if there's anything else. The thing about the estimates is let's just jump down to the guidance here really quick. So as many of you guys know, they already revised down 6,000 to 7,000 produced vehicles this year. That's about 50% lower than the 12 to 14 that they were estimating this year. And then that is already 50% lower than the 20K we were initially promised. So you can see that Lucid's revised down a number of times. And I mean, the fact that they still have 37,000 reservations, like those reservations are probably going to have to wait 24 months, if not longer. So that is definitely going to be something interesting to pay attention to. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into the transcript. I'm going to go ahead and pull my iPad over here, and we are going to see what we've got going here. All right. So this may be boring for some of you guys, but this is really where you learn a lot about your companies, and especially because Peter Rawlinson does have an accent that can be somewhat distracting during the earnings call. We're going to go ahead and break down exactly what is going on with Lucid as well. We're going to go ahead and break down what's going on with Lucid, and we're going to see what this means. Let's go ahead and make this the full page now. Okay, you guys like the new setup? I hope you guys do. It's pretty fun to use. Okay, so we're just gonna do basic. Green is good. Yellow is like general, and pink, purple is gonna be bad. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. Let me go zoom in here. So we're just gonna go quickly through this because it is kind of long, but I do want to read it. So I will not be offended if any of you guys just want to wait for my recap another day, probably tomorrow. But I do think this is important for us to go through. So before handling the call, let me move my mic right here. Before handing the call over to Peter, they have to do that. Okay. In Q2, we continue to see strong customer demand through vehicles with 37,000. Like I said, that was a fairly big jump from what I was expecting, especially if you're going to have to wait a while. That's an increase of 7,000 in the quarter, of 30,000 reservations as reported last quarter. So we know that. So this does not include our agreement with the government of Saudi Arabia to purchase 100,000 vehicles. So that's a question that I know a lot of people have had, which is entirely incremental, nor does it include potential reservations for the SUV, Gravity, nor potential for Lucid Air outside of North America, Middle East, and Europe. So those reservations are tangible, as tangible as reservations can get, and they're not counting anything extra. We're pleased with the reaction from customers and excitement with the Lucid Air. We believe we're going to get our vehicles into the customers' hands and expand our test drive program. Okay, good. I mean, I can't believe that we have to bring up our test drives on the earnings call, but oh well. So they're going to expand the test drive program. We've also pleased to report that Lucid Air continues to garner many industry accolades, vesting some very well-established luxury. For example, okay, we don't really care about the awards right now. I don't really care about so like these are just the awards. I'll just write this. Those are the awards. We don't really care about that right now. Only racing cars were faster at the event. Okay, good. Yeah, whatever. Vertical integration differentiates Lucid virtually from every other car manufacturer today. With all positive momentum, this quarter has been very challenging. Period. Okay, so this is something we're going to pay attention to. This is where stuff's going to get interesting. We have experienced supply chain logistics challenging along with the entire industry. Limitations of our logistics system have compounded this challenge. Okay, so I feel like they kind of screwed the investor because we knew this last quarter and they still didn't revise down. So we're going through this pain now, which is fine. We just delayed the pain. And okay, let's keep going. So as we attempt to push forward at the rate we found, our logistic constraints prevent us from scaling meaningfully this last quarter. So I wonder, so this is already different from Rivian because Rivian, the quarter previous, like I think that Rivian's a quarter ahead of us. I've talked about this in multiple videos already. Rivian said that they sold as many cars as they had parts. It sounds like there's like, what is the logistics here? Like, what is the issue? Is it semi trucks? Is it getting parts? Is it the fit and finish? Like, what is the issue? So we're definitely going to have to look at what the actual, like, quit saying logistics, like tell me what the actual issue is. For example, our ability to speed the correct part through a line and correct time and cadence. Each car is built with thousands of parts and do this while maintaining a high quality brand standard. So I've mentioned this in almost any video when we talk about deliveries. Lucid will always, and if you can't stand this phrase right here, then you should not be invested at all into Lucid. They will always pick quality over quantity. So like they have thousands of parts. Like they acknowledge they have a lot of parts. Whereas you have other manufacturers trying to reduce the amount of parts. They're trying to maintain their high quality build standard. So they're not necessarily trying to simplify the design. They're trying to maintain a high quality build standard. And that, like, let me just, quality over quantity. That is something you're going to have to be used to. So where's the Gravity? Vamanos said, where's the Gravity SUV and what year will non-Lucid owners be able to book this? Well, let's see. Let's see if he answers that in this call, if they have any updates. I have not read this yet. So we're reading this for the first time together. All right, let's walk through our first half and Q2 production and delivery figures to provide a little context. In the first half of 2022, we produced, let's go back here. We produced 1,405 vehicles. I don't like that. We produced 1405 vehicles. These were factory dated vehicles. This means they were completed and ready for delivery. Ready for delivery, not delivered. That's a big difference. My estimate was what production they were going to have. My estimate was they're going to have 1,600 produced. It was between about 900 to 1,600 produced. Oh no, I was 200 off. So my estimate, off by 200 to the upside. So I thought they were going to have 200 more. So it looks like good news for you guys. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing because our predictions are not too far off right now. So that's good to see. All right, in Q2 we also made a significant number of vehicles that we did not factory gate, instead of electing to hold them back in order to ensure that these cars met the highest standard of quality. Remember, I've said this how many times already this video. Quality must take priority over volume of a luxury brand, and I will touch on quality a bit later. This right here, if you are afraid of that phrase, you should not be invested in Lucid. Let's see. They have high quality. Whoops, hopefully that's not too close. They have to have high quality at their luxury price point. Fix issues now because they're making hundreds of thousands of cars. Exactly. And we've already seen a couple recalls, which is normal. But we're going to keep going. So thank you for that comment. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay. Now from a production standpoint, we have planned and unplanned pauses in the quarter that resulted in approximately 2.5 weeks. I brought this up. We need to pay attention to that 2.5 weeks. We had no daily production at the factory. In addition, it causes to more transient nature related to supply chain and logistical issues. I'm still waiting to hear. Remember, let me pull up the questions that I have. These are the questions that I want answered in this earnings call. Whoops. These are the questions. Oh, fetch. These are the questions that I want to have answered. What's going on with the supply chains currently? What's the outlook? Like, are we going to get any sort of projections for Q3, Q4, Q1, 2023? Is this the bottom? That's kind of like a rhetorical question. And then what the freak happened? Okay. The equipment has been successfully the Lucid the production pause due to installation of body shell assembly equipment and robotics with the Air Pure was pre-planned. The equipment has successfully been installed. We're on track for the start of the Pure before the end of the year. Okay, well, I guess that's good news. But they still maintain that. Oh, come on. There we go. Which we expect to be highly significant for us as a company. Yeah, we need to make a lot more than 400 if we want it to be significant. At the same time, we also experienced some unplanned production pauses. Okay, what the freak? What happened? Primarily in order to improve our logistical what is behind that word? Like, we're gonna figure out by the time, like, at the end of this, I'm gonna write this down right now. At the end of this, we are going to ask, how many times did they say the word logistics, and what the heck does it mean? Okay, that's an answer that I'm already wanting. Okay. So, as a result, we're reducing our Q2 22 production range of 6,000 to 7,000 vehicles. I want a really good answer for this. If you're going to reduce, reflects logistic. There it is again. Challenges I described in scaling. We exposed the immaturity of our logistics process, but I do believe that we've identified the primary bottlenecks. What are the primary quit dancing around with the actual issues and tell me what the primary bottlenecks are. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, this shouldn't just be a song and a dance. Tell me what's wrong. And have already taken steps to begin the remedy. What, this is already just taking me off. Like, tell me what the issue is. Like, tell me I'm not alone in that frustration and the fact that they keep saying they're having logistical issues, but we don't have any answer to what those logistical issues are. Like, this is kind of stupid. It's kind of pissing me off, honestly. We've made a significant decision to bring our logistic operations in-house. Okay, the word is again. How many times are we going to say logistics? We've made key hires to the executive team, and we've restructured our logistics. There it is again. And manufacturing organizations accordingly. We accelerated access to our a logistics center as part of our phase 2 expansion in Arizona. And within a couple of months, we expect to have our logistics center on the site of the AMP1 to eliminate logistic bottlenecks, as well as reduce the cost of shipping and handling parts. Furthermore, is logistics like getting parts from China? Is it getting parts from overseas? Is it getting the car onto the haulers? Because we see how many cars, they have hundreds of cars sitting in the parking lot. Why aren't they moving? Like, tell me what the actual logistical issue is. Like, come on. Like, I feel like I should be able to know this as an investor. Furthermore, we're overhauling our logistical processes and introducing a series of improvements to simplify the system and yet make more efficient and robust. I'm pleased to announce that Stephen David has joined the Lucid as a senior. Okay, cool, Stephen. Okay, you're still skirting around the fact that I don't understand what the actual issue is with the logistics. Vice President of Global Logistics. I bet these guys are getting paid fat salaries to figure this out. Okay, quit telling me exactly what their accolades are. Put that in the press release, not in the earnings call. Now moving on to deliveries. Last quarter, I highlighted that we delivered well over 300 in the month of April. Yeah, so in the month of April, they delivered 300 vehicles, but in three months later, they only delivered 679 in a total of 3 months. So like if they were to even keep on the same pace as they were in April, that would have been 900 deliveries, and we only had 600. Yes, I did just write that left-handed for anybody that's paying attention. I tried to be ambidextrous, but I can still kind of do it. I didn't even realize I did that. That was kind of cool. Okay. Our decision to prioritize quality has been in effect in our deliveries as quantity. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Our decision to prioritize quality had an effect on our deliveries, and quality is an organizational priority. I've been working with a team to make sure that nothing leaves our house without meeting our high standards. Okay. Okay, he's on the shop floor. I guess that's kind of cool. It's expected. Like if he wasn't, I'd be kind of ticked because he took a fat compensation package this quarter. We're gonna have to get into that. Yeah, he better be on. Actually, let's make that yellow. Yeah, I with how much money he got this last quarter, I hope he is on the floor. Yeah, I believe it's my responsibility as the CEO to be here resolving the issues and helping to onboard the new executives. Yeah, good job. Indeed, I feel particularly on home. Okay, quit talking about your personal feelings. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. I'd personally like to thank all of our employees. Now we've made enhancements to our quality process. Okay. They're talking about more individuals. They keep filling their time up where they're just talking about accolades. Like Lucid does not give any information. Okay, let's read you guys' comments really quick. Okay. Let's remember it's growing pains. If you truly believe that they are the future, be patient in the process. Average down eventually. Long game. Yeah, I mean, we should still be asking these questions because if we can't figure out how to get, like, why did we go from 300 vehicles to 900, even with the factory shut down for 2.5 weeks? I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. All right. Like Gordon Ramsay, not letting out perfect food. Yeah, no, that's what it is. You have to give a perfect product. It's different than other companies. They, along with the team, have already. Okay, thanks for talking about abstract things. Okay, abstract. I'm proud to say that we've had 100% safety record to date with just. Okay, they're talking about race cars. Those don't have any impact on the company that I'm aware of. Okay. Yeah, this isn't okay. They're talking about more awards. Okay. 19 updates. I want to hear more about autonomy. That's what I want to hear. Like, why do we have so many cameras? Why do we have so many? I'm going to write this down. And I'll probably make a video, probably not today, but we'll talk about autonomy question mark. autonomy. Okay. Okay. Close that. Cool. Let's keep going. I want to know about the autonomy because that's really important. There's a little bit of autonomy. But I feel like that's like legacy automakers have that. Strength of demand, cool. We've already talked about the strength of demand. Although frustrating, this is a pace of our growth as the company will power through, and once we will power through with a steely determination. We've augmented our workforce and improving our purchase. Nothing. Like they're super abstract right now. I'm very excited about the future. Of course you are. We're driving forward. Okay, thank you. All right, now Sherry House. I like Sherry House because she talks about numbers. Okay. Thank you for all those joining us. I want to echo Peter's excitement about the future. Reservation number. This represents potential future revenue of approximately 3.5 billion. That's before including the 100,000. I want to know how much we're giving these to the Saudi Arabia for. Our future reservations taken together with the growing customer base, brand awareness, good. Turning our second quarter financial results, 97 million. Oh, whoops, dropped my pencil. My bad. Second quarter results of 97 million. Let's make that red because they missed. 97 million, which represented a quarter-over-quarter increase of 69%. Nice. They planned that on purpose. We also recorded other revenue of approximately 1.2 million, which includes, okay, so that's finally we have some clarity in the differentiations of revenue. Good. As Peter mentioned, Formula E, cost of revenue. Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. As Peter mentioned, the Formula E drivetrain agreement is the natural next step in our relationship, and it's a true testament of our advanced technology differentiation, period. Cost of revenue was $292.3 million. Wow. That is a giant debt hole. So let me just hold on. Okay, let me do this calculator. Let's do 292 divided by, we did how many? 97 million? Divided by 97 million. Oh, let's do 97 divided by 292. It's such a negative number, I don't even understand it. Yeah, so they had 292 of overhead. 292 overhead, and they did that 292 brought in 96 million. Okay. Similar to last quarter, this expected increase was primarily related to personnel overhead. So one of the other questions is, are we going to cut personnel? Because every other company in the S&P 500, I know we're not in the S&P 500, but every company under the moon is pausing hiring or cutting. But it still seems like Lucid is not there yet. Hold on. This is interesting about shipping. Okay. See, you learn so much by going through these earnings reports. I know it's kind of boring, but we learn a ton by doing it. Okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, my estimates were a lot closer than a lot of people were thinking. I got slammed in the comments for my estimates. Okay. We recorded an impairment charge. Actually, I didn't get slammed. You guys are really nice to me. We recorded an impairment charge of $81.7 million in the second quarter, primarily as a result of these increased costs capitalized into inventory. So was that 87 million part of the, I'll have to look at that on the balance sheet. Was that part of this 292? That'll be interesting. Overhead costs as we ramp up production offset by lower freight costs quarter over quarter due to our ability to ship the vast majority of our international shipments from air to ocean freight. Interesting. This is fairly typical in initial production ramps as we saw a decline from Q1 to Q2, this impairment charge. We expect that the impact should lessen over time as we ramp up production volumes towards our planned manufacturing. We're still in the growth stages, important to quality. In addition to building brand, customer loyalty, tangible financial benefits, our quality approach. Man, once this company starts producing cars, like their profit margins are going to be ridiculous. If they can start producing like hundreds, like if they can produce 37,000, I'll have to dive into all of these. We'll do a deep dive into a spreadsheet. But man, this company is gonna have ridiculous margins eventually, because even let's just do this really quick. So let's just do this math really quick. So they had 97 million. So 97 million divided by 679 vehicles. They have an average selling price of they have $142,000 of average selling price. That's kind of crazy. Wow. And if they can produce 100,000 cars, 100,000 times 142, 100,000 times 142, is that, hold on, we gotta turn my phone sideways. This is, because they could make a ridiculous amount of money. 42, and if they can, like, yeah, it's $14.2 billion. That's ridiculous. How many? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Once this company makes a lot of cars, they will make a lot of money. A ridiculous amount of money. Like, their revenue is going to ramp like crazy. Like, it will become I don't want to open my mouth until I actually run these numbers, but if this company can really produce, like, let's say they hit their goal, like let's say they hit their goal of 7,000 vehicles, and they have an average selling price of 142,000 times 7,000 vehicles. That's almost $1 billion that they can do this year. Now, I know that they spent almost 3/4. They spent $1/3 of $1 billion this quarter, like in overhead, which that will probably increase. But that's not bad. Like, in a first full year of ramp, $1 billion in revenue. It's going to be interesting to break down how much they actually make on each car. We'll have to figure that out. Okay. Sorry, those numbers distracted me. R&D expenses, 200 million. Jeez. Prototype material, design, testing services. Okay, let's highlight this. R&D, a lot. Sales of goods and service, SG&A, sales of goods and sold. What does SG&A stand for? Again, I forgot. What does SG&A stand for? Series, no help. Geez, they're spending a lot of money. 5 studios, good. Stock comp. Jeez, yeah, they have a lot of stock comp. We'll dive into their financials. I kind of just want to get a broad overview because I know this is not the most exciting thing. We've been live for 29 minutes. Many Lucid Air customers have been asking for flexible financing options with a preference for 100% digital experience, and we've delivered on that ask. Lease products, 38 states. Okay, good. Addition into the Russell 1000 index. Okay. I'm just skimming this really quickly if there's anything noteworthy. Yeah, I said that there was a 75% chance they were going to revise. Cash guidance, end of the quarter with $4.6 billion in cash. We're going to compare all of this to last quarter, and we'll extrapolate it going forward. We'll go through all of this in another video this week or next week. Okay. Air Grand Touring performance and the Air Pure. Okay. In terms of our product roadmap guidance, we're on track for deliveries for additional versions of Lucid Air later this year. Selling and general expenses. Thank you. Air Grand Touring performance and Air Pure, the touring and production for Project Gravity in the first half of 2024. So Gravity is still a year and a half away at best. Okay. Let's see. What is the Q&A? Let's fly through this Q&A, and then we'll do a Q&A with us, and then we'll probably end it because we thank you for the definition RX1000. Yeah, let's fly through this because it's important that we get through this, and then we will do a quick recap and we'll call it a night because I'm exhausted. Okay. Q&A. Oh gosh. This is asked every time. The first question, straight to it, we all want to know, is there any possibility of a partnership with Apple? Why is this continuing to be asked? I know I was guilty of it. I was guilty of it too. Which just hurts. That's interesting. I haven't thought about that. Dude, if they can't even get 7,000, like they have 37,000 reservations and we can't even get to this, like we should not be worried about this right now. We should not. We don't have anything to announce today regarding any new partnerships. That said, we recognize the attractiveness of our product and tech platform for the companies. We're keenly open to discussing partnerships options. It means no partner. They're not saying no partners, that Apple just doesn't want them. Are strong with the operational, for instance, we're industry leading efficiency. Yeah, why did he didn't even answer the question, the second half about Hertz. He just talked about their efficiency. Okay. Vehicle architecture. Wait, what was that? Was that on? Oh no, Sherry. Okay. For cargo in case of an autonomous vehicle, like sharing. I guess from a vehicle architectural perspective, our Lucid Air Space concept provides additional room for luggage or cargo in the case of an autonomous vehicle, like sharing fleets. He wants the partner more than Peter Rawlinson wants the partner more than anybody. Yeah, we already know this. Why are they asking this question? Popular, yes. There's one Lucid Air Pure. I mean, yes, we know. Yes. I understand. We understand. Nothing new. Oh my gosh. Why? That's a tweet right there. Does Lucid plan out to pay any dividends in the future? We can't even have positive EPS yet. Why are we worried about dividends? Oh my gosh. Why are we worried about dividends? That's ridiculous. We don't have any plans to do so. Yeah. So they're asking about the CarPlay. We're always evaluating new technologies, and of course, we will continue to do so. Look, we've got an awesome car with hardware. Ugh. We actually, yeah, we saw pictures of this. We got pictures of it. Here, I'm gonna highlight this. We got pictures of that. Good. That's actually good news. That's a check mark. Okay, combat. Okay, here's a good question. How does Lucid plan to combat inflation and a potential recession in the short term? Good question. Finally, a great question. With respect to the actions that we've specifically taken in June, we've increased our sales price to Lucid Air. Yes, we know you. So you raised your prices. Yes, that's good. Blanket cost. Allocated capital. I like Sherry House. I'm a big fan of her. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, let's just fly through this. We're so close to being done. Okay, Project Gravity. Yes, we know that's in a year and a half out. It's gonna be cool when it comes out, but man, it's a year and a half away. Okay. Backstopping. So they're talking about the loan. I'm gonna dive into all the financials in a separate video. I just kind of want a broad overview because I haven't done any diving. Like I haven't done anything. Like I went live and we experienced this all together. Maybe talk about your production. Oh, good question. Okay, maybe talk about what you expect production split between Q3 and Q4 and degree of confidence growing that for the next year. And demand. So the demand grew actually during a recession. Very interesting. I'm actually going to write that down so I don't forget it. Okay. Demand grew. Whoops. During a recession. Okay, cool. Okay. So I'll highlight this. Excellent question. Neither super optimistic or duly pessimistic. Balanced approach. Reservations, as you can expect. Oh, so they totally sandbagged those numbers. Great. That was really smart. Economic downturn, and they did like. No, I have not sold my shares. I thought about it. Just so I could buy in lower, like sell and wait 30 days and buy in lower. I should have. I'm just too afraid of what the public will think. I just kind of need to get over it. Oh, I forgot I have a monster here. All right, let's rock on. 30. Yeah, that's crazy. I bet next quarter is going to be slower. Interesting. Okay, pure. So it's kind of going. So it's going least expensive being 3, and then it goes 1 grand touring, and then it goes touring in terms of reservations. So pure. So I'd probably guess 50% plus are pure, maybe even 60%, and then I'd probably say 30% are touring, grand touring, and then I can't remember what I said. I'm tired, but we'll do over those numbers another day. Okay. Minimum cash balance. Okay, we're gonna do that in another video. Ramp up. No production rates. Okay, I'm wondering, can you help reassure us a little bit on the ramp up by giving us an idea of what your weekly production rates exited Q2 at? And this is a great question. But if I look at it, I'm saying you average about 78 orders a day since you updated in the 3-month period. That margin to me basically. I'm wondering, is the sort of explanation that there were cancellations, so the gross order intake was significantly above expectation? We'll have to dive into that too. I think there's a $1.4 billion purchase security. Can you tell us what shipping liquid cash? Yeah, that's definitely a question. That's definitely something we'll have to look into. Okay, weekly, because it can be misleading, a whole lot of host of factors. Okay, you're dancing on the question. Okay, you're dancing on the question. And once we start cherry picking specifically weekly, why? I think we can get into this territory, and I think that the numbers we provide you was brought on subscription. Okay, so this is the third time they revised down. We're gonna have to pay attention to that. I don't think it's wise to give you. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. 100% honest. We're gonna write boo. Okay. Cancellations came down slightly. Talking about the battery. Okay, that's the end. We did it, guys. Okay. Hey, thank you for the $10. Let's see what you said. People are expecting to make Tesla money in 9 months of production. People's expectations so immediate, it's silly. Tesla only disrupted the car market in 2019, 7 years later. Yeah, like I was saying, like I think you and I are on the same page. Once this company can produce 100,000 vehicles, what was it? Even if they have an average selling price, even if it goes down like 40%, their average selling price from where it is now, 100,000. Let's just say it stays at 100,000. Oh, whoops. Oh, I gotta turn my phone this way. Let's see. This is very basic math, but I'm very tired. Whoops. Okay. Times. That's $10 billion. Once they can get to 100,000, which we're 7% of the way to 100,000 cars. That's $10 billion. That's very good. Okay, what questions do you guys got? I know we're few in numbers here, but it's boring, and I know it's boring, but these are the kind of things that we have to get through in order to understand this company, because I feel like I kind of left with more questions than I did answers. So we're gonna have to dive into all of that. And we didn't I'm probably gonna make a fairly honest video tomorrow, but my predictions were pretty close. So I was very close, and I appreciate you guys that noticed that. And I like to consider myself the most honest investor, because we should be the most critical of the companies that we invest into. I have not dumped my shares. I thought about dumping it. The question is, as a current investor, here's what I'm asking myself right now. Like, I want to hear what you guys think. Like, let's chat it up here. I appreciate the $10, by the way. That was very nice. Let's chat it up here. Is this the worst quarter that Lucid is going to have? Was Q2 the worst? Is it only up from here? I'm going to ask that question. Is it only up from here? Okay. Is it only up from here? I'm going to have to think about that. I thought it was going to be, but they revised down 50%. And they never said what was actually wrong. Interesting. They never told us what was wrong. This bothered. Hold on, let me share my screen with you guys. Sorry. Okay. This bothered me. We were never told what the logistical issues were. We were never told what the logistical issues were. Transportation. Transporting the cars. Commodities. shipping issues, internal factory issues, executives miscommunicating. Wow, that's not even close. Communicating. Yeah, I know that's not spelled. I know like none of that's spelled right, but we can get over it. Okay. So we were I feel like last earnings call was better than this one. I'm left with more questions. I'm left with more questions after this Lucid earnings call than I was provided answers. And that's never a good feeling to have as an investor. So, yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? If you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. I know it's kind of boring to go through these, but it gives you something to think about. So, kudos to you guys that were here because we learned quite a bit. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And like always, we'll see you next time. And thank you for the $10. Shout out one more time to DRock P87. Appreciate the $10. It was very nice of you. And there's a lot to break down here. So the rest of this week we'll probably be breaking down earnings because there's a couple of good things, but a lot of questions that haven't been answered. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.